We, as a human, we are eager to know what happened around us, don't we? Here come news to play its role in keeping us updated for what happened, no matter it is near or far from our place. We get to know the fact and the situation around the world from a credible source, and that is news. Want to know how to produce news? Stay with me until the end of this video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello, my name is Nur Addina BINTI Nazri from KAC3 and my matric number is 1180387. So today I would like to share my experience and the process of producing news. First of all, what is news and what is story? Is it the same thing? Does it have any different? And the answer is yes, it does have a different. Story in the newsroom terminology is a story text that we write and it is not published yet. Meanwhile, news is a published story whether it's published online or on a printed paper. Thus, news can be defined as a newsworthy information about recent event or happening, especially reported by news media. Therefore, news is a timely and accurate account of an important event to a considerable number of people. To qualify a news to be considered good news is that it must possess the quality of currency, accuracy, fairness, balance, and concise. The main question is how to produce story. What is the first process that we have to do when we want to write a news story? Firstly, we have to gather content for our story by getting something or event to write on, whether it is a scheduled event or unscheduled event. Scheduled event means that we know where the event will take place and when the time of the event. For example, press conference, presenting award event, and others. Unscheduled event means that the media covers something that is not scheduled. For example, report on poor in Kelantan, report on people that are affected by flood, and others. As for me, I searched for an event through MTD Limbongan Pasir Putih Facebook page and I've contacted the man in charge of the event in my town through Facebook Messenger. And I've got an event that will be held on 25th of November 2020 and the event is to deliver the Female Entrepreneur Aid in State Legislative Assembly Dun of Limbongan. Secondly, I have to decide and make sure that my story has news value, or we can call it newsworthiness or news factors. What is news value? News value is criteria that influence the selection and presentation of events as published news, and the values help to explain what makes something newsworthy. There are a lot of news value that have been listed and explained by many theorists such as Galtung and Roche, Herbert Gans, Hetherington, and others. As we can see here, the list of some news values, and those are immediacy, familiarity, amplitude, frequency, unambiguity, predictability, surprise, continuity, alienation or people, personalization, negativity, balance, and others. I think my news can be categorized under proximity or familiarity and meaningfulness, which mean the event happened near to the target audience. However, it doesn't just mean for geographical distance but also can be applied to culture. Thirdly, source, or we can call it news source. In order for a journalist to write a credible news story, he or she should have a credible news source. What is news source? Brandon Salas defined sources in his book, Basic Concept of Journalism, as a person or publication or other record or document that give timely information. For example, sources include official records, broadcasts, official in governments or organization, witnesses of crime or other event, people involved with or affected by a news event or issues, etc. As for me, after the event was held on 25th November, I went to interview YB Ustaz Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Hasbullah, the State Legislative Assemblyman of Limbongan, as my first source. The interview took place in the State Legislative Assemblyman of Limbongan Office and Service Center. Let's watch a little bit of the interview. Apakah tujuan bantuan ini diadakan?
Bantuan ini diwujudkan untuk membantu golongan wanita lah, khususnya tak kira sama ada dia itu ibu tunggal atau tidak dalam meneruskan aktiviti ekonomi yang dalam membantu menyelesaikan barangan ataupun apa yang dia buat lah, kuih ke dan sebagainya.
Apakah jenis-jenis bantuan yang disampaikan dan siapakah penyumbang atau pihak yang terbabit dalam bantuan ini?
Bantuan ini sebenarnya daripada pihak kerajaan negeri di bawah Urusnya Kebajikan Wanita dan Keluarga, Ekskuda YB Mumtaz kami. Dan bentuk bantuannya ialah peralatan yang diguna pakai oleh usahawan wanita, sama ada untuk membuat kuih, jahitan dan sebagainya. Tengok apa kerja dia. Jadi peralatan itu bergantung kepada kerja yang dia buat.
Okay. Berapakah jumlah yang diperuntukkan dan jumlah bilangan penerima yang menerima bantuan ini?
Setakat ini peruntukan asalnya sebanyak 50,000. Dia bagi dua fasa. Fasa satu 25,000, fasa kedua 25,000, dan penerima ni bergantung kepada jenis peralatan. Jika peralatan tu harga dia tidak mahal, jadi ramailah yang dapat kita bagi. Kalau peralatan tu agak mahal, maka kuantiti dengan jumlah harga yang diberikan atau peruntukan diberikan, kita hanya mampu sediakan tidak banyak lah. Tapi baru ni untuk fasa pertama dalam 15 orang penerima. Fasa kedua belum kita buat lagi, kita perjangka dalam 20 ataupun 30 orang. Jadi untuk fasa kedua.
Siapakah golongan sasar ataupun apa kriteria penerima bantuan ini?
Biasanya kita akan merujuk kepada KIR lah. KIR rumah keluarga tu, kita akan bantu mereka yang sekarang lah yang B40 tu. Maksudnya mereka yang agak kurang berkemampuan dan perlu kita bantu. Kita sedang juga ibu-ibu tunggal lah, kalau kita panggil armal. Armal. Keutamaan kita kalau tak ada, kita bagi lah pada
To produce a good news story, at least 2 sources needed. So, for the second source, I decided to interview one of the female entrepreneurs that received the Female Entrepreneurial Aid. I did the interview via video call in WhatsApp. Let's watch a little bit of the interview with Madam Shahanira Saleh. Apakah jenis perniagaan yang Puan Shahanira jalankan dan apakah bentuk bantuan yang diterima? Peralatan. Peralatan jenis macam mana? Bentuk peralatan tu macam mana?
Freezer. Freezer saya sederhana dengan mesin nipis tu.
Oh, mesin penipis tu.
Sepatutnya ada sepatutnya dapat satu lagi mesin penguli.
Oh.
Tapi tak sampai lagi. Sebab inilah PKP ni.
Apakah jenis perniagaan yang Puan Shahanira jalankan?
Saya buat kari pak frozen.
Frozen. Okey, baik. Apakah harapan Puan Shahanira pada masa akan datang?
Saya nak buat pengeluaran lebih lagi daripada sebelum ni. Sebelum ni kan saya guna mesin kecil je. Mesin saya beli dalam tu cuma aku. Mesin nipis tu dia cepat panas. Kalau buat 3 kilo sehari tu dia akan panas. Besar ni 5 kilo sehari tu tak ada masalah lah. Lebih pada tu pun boleh. Jadi kat saya nak buat pasaran lagi meluas lah. Sebab kalau setiap kali saya pergi KL, memang saya akan bawa stok. Ada permintaan dekat belah Pucung.
Okey.
Pucung, Gombak.
Semoga berjaya. From the interview that I've done, I've collected and combined all the information that I think is important for me and suitable to be written in my news to match my story angle. What is story angle? The angle of a news is the story's point or theme. It is the lens through which the writer filters the information he or she has gathered and focus it to make it meaningful to viewers or readers. The angle that I choose is the total value and the form of the entrepreneurial aid. Lastly, we have to look at other news that has quite or almost the same news angle from our news to use it as references on how it was written. After I did all the steps that I've explained just now, it's now time for me to write my story. In writing a news story, we must keep in mind that the news has to be complete and follow the format of a news story. Ask ourselves, does my story answer all the 5W1H question? Does it use inverted pyramid style? Are the sources I get to write my news are credible? And so on. So, this is my final news story. And that's all from me. Thank you for lending your ears.